Hey, Augusta Nation. Hope everybody's Monday is going well. Having a happy Monday, dry and able to mow all the grass. I'm just wrapping up. It is, not sure, my radio in the CRV does not work, so I don't know what time it is if I'm not on the phone. I think it's about 4:30, but wrapping up. We had about 16 estimates on the board today, so pretty good. If you've seen some videos recently, I cut off marketing the first week of July. Not completely, but tapped it, closed the valve a good bit. We went from 4,000 to 5,000 a month to about 400 or 500, and so having 16 estimates on the board today, that made me smile. That was nice. Had a couple Christmas lights, some property cleanups, some mowing that was outside our parameters or wasn't able to be visible from over the phone estimates. Speaking of over the phone estimates, they've been awesome this year. If you got your pricing matrix that works well, that you built, I love the over the phone estimate. Every once in a while we'll have to correct it, but overall, being able to sell our flagship service, which is mowing, immediately to the customer is amazing. So let me know what y'all think about that, if you've found good success, or if you've, and I think sometimes some of the success, sometimes you have to tweak your matrix as far as square footage. I think we did a small tweak, but yeah, went out there, did the estimates. Me and Jeremy's dynamic, and so I'm just sharing what we're doing, experimenting with it really. Trying to save a little bit of money. It's a little bit slower, we're well past the spring rush, so Jeremy's been taking on more of the emails, handling communications with customers, and I've been sending my own estimates. Just trying to save some money because we are a little bit cash strapped. So trying to save money where we can and utilizing our resources, which for us, at just a little over $1 million location, I think we'll do 1.2, 1.3 this year. We've got Jeremy, who's the general manager, and we've got myself, who's the estimator. So since we're both here and we have an office, just trying to see what we can do if it works out. See if we can save a little bit of money. I'm not saying that that's what you should do at all, just sharing what I'm doing. So I'm headed home, gonna fire off the estimates. Should take, I don't know, about 30-40 minutes, if that. And then that will be my day. So stop by my mom's house today, honestly, for a bathroom break, because I've been drinking a whole lot of water and just tired of killing random people's shrubs that I have to dip into. But as some of y'all, or most of y'all know, my dad passed in June, and he was growing some peppers, so I harvested some jalapenos, and probably just gonna chop them up, make a tuna sandwich out of them. So that was pretty cool. Appreciate Dad. And on Mike's Minutes, the mastermind, there's some good questions in there today about real estate, and I know his mastermind, or our mastermind, has been hitting on the topic of, okay, so we've got this machine of creating wealth. We're starting with Augusta, and we're building that. Depending on, we've also had some new information as far as okay, there's a couple of distinct models. For me, the 500,000 and the $1 million model, I jive with the most. It works for me, and I will use both of those, and I'll let you know how. But today, I forget who it was, but asked about Mike's first real estate investment and when and what stage should you start investing. And I think we all look up to Mike and his journey and how he's built his wealth, and we would like to do some form or fashion of it. Real estate, I do believe, is definitely, I know I want to invest in it. I've been, the past year and a half or so, been learning about it, audible books, podcasts, just trying to, I don't have the money right now, so just trying to see whenever I do have the money, what avenue I'm going to go in. And I've fallen victim, what Mike was talking about today, getting disillusioned, or like, all right, man, I know I want to achieve a certain level of wealth, and there's all these ways to do it. I can remember, as I'm growing Augusta, I'm like, all right, well, I got to get into real estate at some time, and this is going to be my path. And for me, I've just recently kind of just come to grips with, like, okay, for me personally, what I know the most, not that I know much, but what I know the most and what I have the most experience with is what I've been doing the most, what I've been most consistent with, and that is trying to build a lawn care company. So once we've reached that level as far as the $1 million growth model, to where we've spent all the money in growth, buying resources, buying trucks and machines, getting an office, spending all the marketing, we've gotten to the level, and now next year we'll start actualizing that profit. So with profit, and this year I think we'll even have, we started this year with $50,000 in the bank as cash reserves, and I believe we're on track to hit our target of $130,000 in cash reserves. So that's huge for us. You kind of breathe slightly. But what we're going to do this coming year, we're going to invest in North Augusta. That'll be our second location. And as I'm learning about real estate and different ways to invest, learn about the stock market, I'm like, all right, I can start doing this. And just recently I realized, like, look, slow it down. For me personally, Augusta is going to be my best investment. Betting on myself, betting on the systems that Augusta has built, is going to be my best return on investment. So what I've decided and how I'm going to do this is, and I'm very glad whoever brought up, I think it was during the conference, the $500,000 model. A lot of questions were asked about it, and then Mike hit on it more and developed this 3 model system. We'll just talk about the two, the $500,000 and the $1 million. So I've got plans to add 2 locations a year until we gain more traction. We'll add more. But I always thought the $1 million model is what was most appealing. But that was because it was most appealing to myself. Who I'm selling the product to, which are people inside my organization that want to go from being a field team member to a manager to owning their own location. That's who I'm selling to. So what I believe is more appealing to them is that $500,000 growth model, because they can get in year 1, do $150,000 to $200,000. Year 2, stabilize, actualize a profit at $250,000. Use that money to grow that next year to $500,000. So in 3 years they're at $500,000, and they'll now be able to purchase that location on the 4th year. And so that's a much more palatable, I think, deal for somebody going from field team member to general manager to wanting to buy it, of saying, okay, number one, running and managing a $1 million business versus a $500,000 business is much different, requires much different skills. And going from field team member to running their own location and being responsible for 3 to 4 other individuals, that's a step already. And then that $1 million, or what we were going to do is we were going to have a $750,000 price tag for the $1 million business, a little bit of a discount. But what I like better is offering the business to them at $500,000 on that 4th year, and letting them take all the profit in the business if they want to buy it, and giving it as a down payment. So I think I'll be able to, as far as my investments, I'll be able to put money into Augusta by popping up locations. And then for me, this will tie into the fulfillment. As far as, I forget who it was, I need to get better with names, but one of the franchisees had a great question today about what do we do, I'll paraphrase it, but basically, if money is not their motivator, it doesn't fulfill them, which money doesn't fulfill anybody. It just fulfills a need. But if you're trying to look for that purpose, for me, what I like about Augusta and what it can provide is you can take somebody from the field that maybe, you know, has had a rougher upbringing, maybe didn't have a whole lot of support, doesn't have a whole lot of you know, outlook on the future. Take them, bring them into the system, let them learn about business, and then give them the ability to be a manager and an owner, which will enable them to increase their finances, which in my opinion, until you have your finances straight, for me personally, I can't start worrying about other people. I can't start helping other people unless my finances are straight. So for me, finance is a driver, but it's because of what that tool can do. It can help people. And the more money you have, the more people you can help, and the more impact on those people that you can have. And that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that $500,000 model, I'm just going to keep pumping into it until, you know, because it'll catch up. The first location, which will be Matthews, he will in 3 years be able to purchase that location. So that'll be my first actualization of my investment. And so that'll be, you know, $500,000. Jeremy will get 50, we'll get 450, and then every 4 years there'll be 2 locations, you know, hopefully being sold, or, you know, somebody will be managing them and they'll be profitable. So I truly believe, for me, and maybe for a lot of y'all, if multiple locations is what you're going to do, investing into Augusta will be your best return on investment. And then I'd probably say, for me personally, within the next several years, then getting into real estate. Yeah, just want to talk about kind of what's been relevant and what I've heard in the masterminds. I've been loving them. Everybody's got really good questions, and I think it's been super helpful to hear from Mike and to stay connected like that. So if anybody has any questions for me at all, or if you'd want to see a video from my location in the field, hear from our team, see anything, feel free to request it in the comments, reach out to me, you know, my cell phone, anything that you'd like. I'd love to be there to help. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon.